All right, thanks, Alex. In a couple of weeks, the nationally known Aspen Institute will hold a forum here in New Orleans to discuss the huge growth of the digital industry in our city. Joining us to talk about this and the event on October 11th is Alejandra Guzman. She is the Vice President of Performance Management and Strategy for the New Orleans Business Alliance. That is quite the title there. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having us here.
Absolutely. Well, why don't we just start off by telling folks about some of the growth that has happened in the digital industry over the last few years.
New Orleans has been very successful in attracting businesses in the tech area. A good example of that is DXC Technology, and we will see around 2,000 jobs coming up in the next years. So this program with the Aspen Institute is focused on analyzing how we're changing as a community with this growth in tech, and how do we need to adapt our workforce and learning.
Yeah, because the theme of it, as you tell me, is work and learning. Why are those two so important?
Well, as I said, technology is changing the way we live and work, and we really need to figure out how, as a community, we prepare our community to leverage that growth.
How would you envision New Orleans being now that there's so much more growth in the industry? Do you see it growing even more and more jobs coming in because of the digital industry?
We're being very intentional about that. We think that technology is a sector that we need to focus as a community, but as I said, as we grow in this area of business, we also need to figure out and make sure that we're providing jobs to everybody in our community.
Absolutely, and maybe there's an opportunity for people who may have lost their manufacturing jobs over the course of the last decade or so to be retrained into some of these tech jobs. Is that something that you maybe envision happening in the future?
Well, what we want to do with this program, as you mentioned, the Aspen Institute is that renowned organization actually internationally, and the Aspen Socrates Salon is focused in bringing together leaders in our community to precisely talk about this issue so we can be prepared in our policy, in our business decisions, and even in higher institution. How are we going to teach people in our community to embrace the jobs at tech?
Absolutely, and then this is open to the public?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The program is a two-tier or two-section program. One of them is open to the public. It's happening on October 11th, 7 to 9 p.m. at the Windsor Court.
Absolutely, and so if somebody is not familiar with tech at all, they can show up and they
Absolutely.
can. Is it free? Is it, or is there a ticket price?
It's a ticket price for $35.
Okay.
It's low. It's accessible for everybody in our community. So, you know, if you're a member of this community, whether you're in the higher ed or you're leading a company or you're just somebody that wants to leverage a job in the tech community, this is the right opportunity for you.
Absolutely. And so, what can somebody expect if they go to the event? If they're just a regular member of the public, what can they expect?
So we will have a panel discussion led by Connie Yawo. She is CEO of an organization that's precisely leading these topics, as well as a representative of the Small Business Administration and the head of policy and corporate responsibility for WeWork.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, Alejandra Guzman. She's with the New Orleans Business Alliance. Thank you very much for spending some time with us. Again, the Socrates Salon, as it's being called, Change and Opportunity, Future of Work and Learning, hosted by the Aspen Institute and the New Orleans Business Alliance, will be October 11th and 12th at the Windsor Court Hotel. You can find more information and register online at NOLABA.org.